All right, everyone, welcome to the 187th District Court. Happy Tuesday. Let's keep it a Tuesday. Let's not try to turn it into a Monday. These are the rules of the 187th District Court. You are in a courtroom, whether you're at your house, at your office, at your work, you're in a courtroom and you need to behave appropriately. If you are at work, you need to let your supervisor know that you need to take a break. You need to find a stationary place so that you can Zoom appropriately. There is to be no laying in bed, no cooking of meals, no doing of laundry, no changing of diapers. If you do that, your Tuesday is going to turn into a Monday because you will be required to appear in person in the 187th District Court and your Zoom privileges will be revoked. So that will mean you will need to get a Lyft, an Uber, or either take the Via bus. If you take the Via bus, you're going to have to find change. If you decide to drive downtown, you're going to find a lot of closed streets, a lot of one-ways, and then you're going to find that parking is very expensive if you can find parking at all. To all the inmates, you are not to use the chat box. You are not to use internet. You are not to use Facebook. If you do any of these things, you'll be sent back to your cell. As you know, they are shorthanded at the jail, so we may see you from 30 to 60 days from now. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all defendants and those who are accused, when your attorney goes to a breakout room, they're probably going to want to speak to the prosecutor before they speak to you. So please do not raise your hand asking if you need to be in the breakout room, because if you need to be in the breakout room, you will be requested to go there and you will be assigned there. To all the defendants and all those who are accused, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, be patient. It's because they're probably Zooming in another courtroom or they are required to be in person somewhere, but they will be here. Attorneys, I'm going to call your name. This is the order in which you will appear. If you see that you're low on the list and you wish to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do so. However, if your name is called and you're not here, you will be placed at the end of the list. To all attorneys, if you want to make everything go quicker, if you have the ability to add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence, that will be helpful. If you cannot do that, then the court will do that. This is the order in which attorneys will appear: Robert Maurer, Linda Corley, Angela Blake, H. Sanchez, Michael Gross, James Seeloff, Nathaniel Navy, Robert Brauback, Shannon Locke, Greg DeMarie, Christine McDonald, Jaime Aldapi, Johnny Cisneros, Joseph Stateson, and Vivian Caceres. Is there any defense attorney's name that I have missed? Okay. Attorneys, if you have an agreement with the state, no matter how small that agreement, you need to put it in the chat box, and you're going to put that in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator on the Zoom screen. Do not call her, do not email her, do not chat her about whether or not she can get a reset. I'm the only person who can give that to you. All right, attorneys, when I assign you to the breakout room, think of those breakout rooms as going to the doctor's office. When you go to the doctor's office and the nurse calls you to the back, you're excited. You think you're seeing the doctor right away. You're not. They're just putting you in a breakout room, checking your weight and your blood pressure. The prosecutors are co-hosts. They have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. If you leave your breakout room to tell me that an attorney has not been in there, I guarantee you, based upon the laws of nature, the laws of physics, Father Time and Mother Nature, a prosecutor is going to see that that room is empty and go right to the next person. All right, Robert Maurer, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
And Judge, I need Marcus specifically. This is a discovery issue we've been talking about for about 3 months.
All right, well, let me add to your name discovery and a request for Marcus.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm sending you to number 3. Oh, and before I send you, all of the attorneys, when you come back from the breakout room and you're done, please use the reaction to raise your hand. Otherwise, I won't know that you want my attention. And it goes much quicker if you use your raise your hand. If your screen is black when you come back, you're not going to be in my vision. I'm going to assume that you're zooming in another courtroom. To all the defendants, you are not allowed to make your screen black. If you do and not show your video, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. And to all the inmates, do not, I repeat, do not tell any deputy that your case is done. I'm the only person who can excuse you. Linda Corley, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4, and I see that you're requesting David Martin. David Martin is has been reassigned.
Oh, okay. So whoever's handling the case is good.
Okay, sure.
It's family violence.
All right, thank you. You know, I usually, when they would move prosecutors, I would say they're no longer with us, and that sounds like they passed. So I have to come up with a new way of saying they've
Yes.
been reassigned. All right, I'm going to send you to number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Angela Blake, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 5.
Thank you.
H. Dave Sanchez, where are you on the screen?
I am right here, Judge.
All right, thank you. I'm going to send you to number 6. Michael Gross. Michael Gross going once.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
I'm here on Montoya, family violence.
What's the full name, please?
Rudolph Montoya III, Judge.
I'll send you to number 7.
Thank you, Judge.
James Seeloff, who do you have?
Yes, Your Honor. Manuel Gonzalez, he was declared incompetent by the May court in September 19th, subject to review in 120 days.
Okay, and then you say Manuel who?
Gonzalez,
So where are we on his time frame?
120 days from September 19th will be a review.
Okay. And is he in the state hospital or?
He should be sent to the state hospital by now.
Okay. Just give me one moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to recall it for November 3rd, just to make sure that he is where we all think he is or should be.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you're excused.
Stay safe. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You too. And Rebecca, do you see what page that is on or anyone?
She's on the recall docket.
All right, thank you. Nathaniel Navy, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
Robert Brauback,
Morning, Judge. It's Mark Anthony Paris, family violence.
what's the last name again, please?
Paris. Mark Anthony Paris.
All right, I'll send you to number 9. Shannon Locke, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 10. Greg DeMary, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to 11. Christine McDonald, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 12. Jaime Aldapi, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to Lucky Breakout Room number 13.
Judge, just one thing briefly. I can confer, but I just haven't been able to get a hold of my client.
All right. Well, you know what? It's Tuesday. They may show. You know, it's Lucky Tuesday. Let's not put any bad vibes in the air.
Okay, I'll go to the.
13 is a Lucky Breakout Room. So he'll probably
Okay.
show.
Let's see if that works. Thanks, Judge.
All right, sure. Johnny Cisneros.
Yes, ma'am. I also had David Martin, Your Honor.
All right, what's your client's name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Blake Wilburn.
All right, I'm going to send you to Lucky Breakout Room number 14.
Thank you.
Joseph Stegson, thanks for changing your name. I'll send you to number 15.
Thank you, Judge.
Vivian Caceres, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 16. All right, is there any attorney who has not been assigned to a breakout room? Okay. Now we wait. Yes, Robert Maurer, you're back.
Judge Marcus and his investigator are going to be on a vision quest to try to find out what BCSO did with this video that they sent to a server that the sheriff's named Bear Eyes. Which,
Okay, and you say Vision Quest,
yes,
which was the name of an 80s movie.
yes, a great movie, by the way.
Yes.
But I was joking with Marcus about only law enforcement would name some sort of data server Bear Eyes. I'm not, because I guess it sounds cool when you think about it when you're working at the sheriff's office. So I don't know how long it'll take. He's going to have an investigator access Bear Eyes to see if they can find the video. We've been trying since August 3rd.
Yes. So, Marcus?
Yes, Judge.
So when are we going to have this?
I don't have an exact answer. I would hope a few weeks. Typically, the process is we just email them, tell them we need the video, and they send it over, which is what I did. He told me that the videos were sent over. I emailed him again saying they're not there. Is there another way to get them? And then I realized that he just emailed me that the videos were sent over. And so they're not there. So now I'm going to have my investigator follow up. And
so if we come back and they're still not there, what is the plan? Are we going to continue to wait for videos? Because at some point, we can no longer have any more discovery hearings.
Well, we can argue the loss of the videos is exculpatory and just move on from there and call it a day.
So I can give a date of October 29th. Or I'll give you the date of November 3rd.
Is that for me or for Marcus?
Oh, that's for both of you all. Is that enough time, Marcus, to?
Either one, Judge. Either one's fine with me.
Same, Judge. Either one works.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll recall this October 29th. All right, if you have nothing else with us, you are excused.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Let me just see what page, there it is. All right, anyone else back? Any attorneys who have not been sent to the breakout room? Jonathan Trevino and Rudy Lerma, you need to show your video, and I've already made that announcement that you are to show your videos. If you do not show your video, you'll be required to appear in person. All right, Shannon Locke.
I didn't even get a chance to raise my hand, Judge. I've never done that before. I was trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh, if you go to the bottom, it should have reactions.
Reactions. I
Yes.
see it now. Okay, cool. So, Your Honor, I've conferred with Marcus. He's made us what I think is a reasonable offer. We're waiting on the breath test records just to make sure there's nothing glaring in those. The order was signed on August 3rd. Usually these take about 60 to 90 days. If we could get a 30-day reset, we should be squared away.
All right, Normie, can I have a 30-day reset for Ian Stewart? And where is Mr. Stewart?
Should be here.
Okay, I see him.
Give me 1 second, Judge.
If you could just put it in the chat box for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to come back on November 9th.
Very good, Your Honor. Are we going to be in person by then, or is that going to be by Zoom, do you think?
I'm doing my docket by Zoom, unless we are ordered not to do by Zoom.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your
You're
Honor.
excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Stewart, you're excused. Your next court date is November 9th. Fernando Cortez, who do you have?
Jonathan Trevino, Your Honor.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
I believe it's family violence, and I've conferred with him already, Judge.
Okay. Your client needs to appear in person. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 17.
Does he need to be in person today?
Yes. Your client didn't follow the Zoom rules.
I'll get a hold of him right away, Judge.
All right. Thank you so much. Angela Blake.
Judge, can I be put in a breakout room with Martin Gonzalez? He is in jail.
Okay. Let me find your breakout room. You were in breakout room number 5.
Correct.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez. What is his first name?
Martin.
All right. Is there a Martin Gonzalez? If you're here, could you raise your hand for me, please? Okay, I see him. He's L7. So I'm going to send him to breakout room number 5. Martin Gonzalez, go to number 5, please. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room? H. Dave Sanchez.
Judge, I spoke with Hunter. I have an offer on this case that I'll need to relay to my client. We've been waiting on blood test discovery, and I got notice that it was received late on Thursday. So I'll go and pick that up this week, review it, and if we can have one last reset, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. Yeah.
All right. Norma, on Carolyn Cantu, can I have a 2-week reset, please? All right, we're going to come back on October 26th. You and your client are excused.
All right, Judge, thank you.
Thank you.
Hit this, and then you can talk.
Mr. Trevino, could you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Trevino, you need to come to the 187 District Court. It's located at 300 De La Rosa. It is on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, see you then. Pardon?
Okay. I was having issues with my phone. I'm sorry. I couldn't.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Linda Corley.
Hi, Judge. I'm here on Mary Trevino, and I have a new prosecutor, as you know, Caitlin
Yes.
Wilkes, and I believe she came back with me. As you know, there's a lot going on with this case, and she's got quite a bit of information to go through. I've been pushing very hard for dismissal, and I'm still hoping for that. But that's kind of where we are. She has to have time to get up to speed on this case because she's not familiar with it at all, and there's quite a lot.
All right, Norma, on Mary Trevino, if I can have 1 month reset, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And Linda, if I hear anything or see anything or come to any kind of conclusions before then, I'll let you know before that time. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Judge, will we get a date in the email?
Oh, no, I'm going to give you a date right now.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you back on November 9th.
November 9th. Thank you very much. May my client and I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Judge Barry. I'll call you this afternoon.
All right, bye-bye. Norma, if you could check your chat, please. And to Robert, if you could check the chat, please. Christine McDonald?
Yes, Judge. Can I be put in a breakout room with my client, Leticia Solis? She might be labeled iPhone. I'm not sure if that's her.
All right, who is Miss Leticia Solis? Raise your hand. All right, I'm going to send Ms. Solis. I need you to go to breakout room number 12 to speak with your attorney.
Thank you, Judge.
Norma, you're welcome. Norma, can you let them know at the jail, Boone has turned off his video?
Judge, I think they had labeled him twice.
Judge,
Oh, yes,
do you know what chair he's in?
14I.
14I.
And also 14C.
Oh, let me see if is he sitting in 14C?
Yes, ma'am.
And his video's up?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let me just remove 14I. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Michael Gross, you're back.
Good morning, Judge. How are you today?
Oh, I am doing great. It's Tuesday.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Judge, we have a first violation report this morning. Rodolfo Montoya.
All right, let me pull that. Just give me a moment. Yes.
On Montoya, Judge, he works for a property group called Limestone Property Group, and he's in charge of client relations with them. He went on September 19th, 21, to this track to set up, to meet with some folks about coordinating an event to generate clients for Limestone Property Group. He met with Seth Hefner there at Autoline Motorsports during the period of time he was there from 3 to 6, looking to see what staff was available, what equipment was available, racing cars, things like that, to try to put together an event. What I propose, with your permission, Your Honor, is my client call pretrial before he goes to set up events like this, so that pretrial doesn't think he's just screwing around on his own on something. I apologize. It didn't even occur to me to have him call pretrial ahead of time. But I can assure you, Judge, you know, he's an A&M grad. He worked in the real estate business before the indictment in this case. He's a professional with real estate. And we've got, I think if we just coordinate with pretrial in the future, that'll save a violation report from being filed.
State.
Judge, without that additional documentation, it just appears to be reading the violation report and looking at the pictures, it just appears that he violated the conditions of his bond. And there's nothing that I have at this point to support otherwise. So if defense has something to provide, I would just suggest that they provide that, showing that he was actually doing work.
Mr. Montoya, unmute yourself, please.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing at these sites? And you're not under oath, but they're saying you're making unauthorized stops.
Yes, ma'am. So I did go to the track to meet with Autoline Motorsports. Seth Hefner, he's a friend of mine. That's one of his companies that he works with. We're coordinating an event. There's a development company called New Community that I'm working with, and we're trying to do a partnership have an event out there, about 300 to 500 people with.
No, partnership with them for what? What is this company you're working with? Who are they?
So Limestone Property Group, we acquire clients for acquisitions. We also do dispositions of real estate.
Okay, now you're just using words. I mean, they sound great. It
I'm
sounds
sorry.
great when you say acquisitions. It sounds great when you say you're in the import-export business. But what does this all mean?
Yes, ma'am. The company we're working with,
What is the name of the company that you say that you're working with?
Limestone Property Group.
All right, and have you provided information to pretrial services that this is who you're employed with?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Well, I was just under, I didn't know that I had to provide information to pretrial services about that being my employer.
Why do you think you wouldn't have to notify pretrial services when I put you on partial GPS and you're allowed to work only?
Yes, ma'am. That's my apologies.
So you say you work for this Limestone group. What do they do?
They have a few different areas that they work under. One is having clients, locating land for clients that are looking to buy land. The other is clients that are looking to do joint ventures with developers and put up the land as equity or capital. They also do the other side of that would be development.
Okay, again, you're just using words that sound great, but tells the court nothing. So what do you specifically do for this employer that you say you're hired for?
Yes, ma'am. I bring on clients that are looking to buy land and I facilitate finding land for them.
So what does finding land have to do with you in a sports car at a racetrack?
Yes, ma'am. I also do, so part of my job is just the client facilitation and some of the,
Again, we're just using words that sound great. So what are you doing at a racetrack in a race car? Because I don't see anybody else in this race car but you. So you were not facilitating and acquiring while you were inside that race car driving around the track.
Yes, ma'am. I was taking a picture in the car, show my clients the cars that they have. What we just did was this company has a fleet of vehicles, and I was there showing the vehicles that were there that they could rent for this event.
No, these are race cars. Nobody has ridden a race car for an event.
The company, they rent vehicles out to people that want to drive it around the any racetracks.
And what's the name of your company again?
Limestone Property Group.
All right, Mr. Gross. I've Googled, I don't see anything on the internet about Limestone Property Group
I do, Judge.
doing anything other than real estate. I don't see them doing anything that says movable property.
Well, in order for Limestone to generate clients, Judge, for interest in property, they put on these events. Rodolfo Montoya is the one in charge of putting on those or coordinating those events or setting them up. Autoline Motorsport, which is online where Seth Hefner works, that's who Mr. Montoya contacted to put together this event.
But so now we're saying that Mr. Montoya put together this event?
He was doing research on how to put together the event for Limestone Property Group.
All right, so here's the thing, Mr. Montoya.
Yes, ma'am.
By Friday, you can provide pretrial services. And Ms. Ferguson, can I have Mr. Tadlow in here for pretrial services?
Yes, ma'am.
Just give us a moment. Christine McDonald?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
For Leticia Solis. Judge, if we can get a 30-day reset, my client has to pay some restitution and then this case should be dismissed.
Okay. Norma, can I get a 30-day reset on Solis, please? All right, we're going to come back on November 9th. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Tadlow. Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, thank you for zooming in so promptly. I appreciate it.
I was just on another court call too. So I was like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna get this one.
Oh, wow, I won a court face-off. That's always nice.
It was funny because I did literally just finish and now I got on with you guys. So it's awesome.
All right, awesome. So we have Mr. Montoya, who's in acquisitions, import, export. He's using a bunch of terms, but not telling the court anything really. So this is what the court is going to require Mr. Montoya to do. By Friday, he's to provide you proof that he is employed. He said he's employed with Limestone Property Group. He's going to inform you of his work schedule, inform you when that will be. Do you understand, Mr. Montoya?
Yes, ma'am.
And he will inform you what place that will be taken at. So, Mr. Montoya, you're only allowed to work. You're not to be doing all these unauthorized stops. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your work hours?
My work hours are generally from 9 a.m. throughout the rest of the day. Sometimes there is clients that do provide me last minute. Can we meet at a location? Or it's weekends as well, meeting at land locations to meet with brokers.
Judge, when I spoke with his employer, the supervisor, the friend that has employed Mr. Montoya, they said there is a set schedule that for him to work. It doesn't do all day long.
All right. So did they give you a set schedule, Mr. Tatlow?
No, they said they were going to provide that to Mr. Montoya.
All right. So there's going to be a set schedule. So this whole thing between 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., that will be no more.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's going to be partial GPS. Defendant allowed to work upon proof of employment and schedule.
So right now I'm going to terminate his current schedule until everything is provided. So he's to remain at home until everything's provided to me.
Yes. And that's going to, well, this is what we will do. Because I'm going to give him till Friday to get that information to you. So all of this will be due by October 8th. Mr. Montoya, if you don't have that to him by October 8th, you're going to be on Full House. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you get it to him tomorrow, then you can go out tomorrow about your business. If you get it to him today, you can go out today about your business.
Yes, ma'am.
So whether you are on full house arrest depends completely up to you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to add Mr. Tatlow, if schedule not provided, then he's going to be on full GPS. So the ball is in your court, Mr. Montoya.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Mr. Tatlow and your attorney. If you have any questions, Mr. Tatlow is now here to answer those. And then you both can be excused. Just 1 second.
I put a
Quick question for
message in
you.
the chat.
You have a minute.
All right, your next court date is going to be, actually your next court date is scheduled for October 7th. Did you have a chance to confer with the state, Mr. Gross?
I did, Judge. We're set on the 8th for discovery status.
Yes.
It's not yet complete. I have been working with David Martin about it. We did just get in our CPS records. There are some other records we're still waiting on. If we could please have a 30-day on that, Judge, I think we'll have every status complete.
All right, so you have the CPS records now?
I do, yes, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can I get a 30-day reset on Mr. Montoya for discovery? All right, we'll come back on November 12th.
Great.
And can you tell me what discovery issues are you waiting on?
The biggest one right now is Facebook. I've sent the subpoena to California in June for Facebook. They haven't responded yet. As you know, Judge, from your time in the trial trenches, they usually come back and say, look, this is a violation of the Stored Communications Act. We're not going to comply. So I've been possibly seeing if the prosecutor would agree to do the law enforcement rule to help me out with the Facebook.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1, Mr. Montoya to number 1, and then you all can be excused from that breakout room. Mr. Montoya, next court date will be November 12th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Ma'am.
Okay, Joseph Stateson.
Yes, Your Honor. I finished conferring with Meredith and I conferred with Albert Coda Gonzalez. Meredith is going to scan additional documents that we had an incomplete file. We just need a short discovery reset offer to come probably next setting. Albert Coda Gonzalez could not leave the breakout room, but he's an inmate.
All right, Norma, can I have a short reset on Mr. Gonzalez? How much time are you asking for, Mr. Stateson?
I don't believe it'll take long to scan the 35 pages of documents, 20 to 30 days. And
well,
offer
you
to
say
come.
not a long time, and then you say 20 to 30 days. Okay.
Well, for the offer to come in, we have to do a jail visit to go over the offer with him.
All right, Norma, can you give me a 30-day reset on Mr. Canta Gonzalez? All right, we'll come back on November 9th. And what breakout room was your client in?
I was in 15. I can rejoin and tell him he's excused.
All right, Norma, it's L6. Yes, you can go there. You can be excused from there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Jaime Aldape.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
I've conferred. I've got CTD client, Mr. Westbrook, David Westbrook, and I've conferred with ADA J. Hunter Morris. We have an offer. I would like to advise my client to take the offer. The only issue is that I just don't have a client.
All right. Is Mr. Does anyone know is Mr. I mean, it shows Mr. Westbrook is on bond.
I called his bond company, Judge, and I got a phone number. The phone number was somebody else. He also had a pending federal charge that was resolved. I contacted the federal attorney and I just haven't been able to get a hold of him.
All right, do we know if he's in federal custody? Does anyone know?
No, I believe he served his time. I checked the federal inmate locator and he didn't show up in BOP anywhere.
All right. Is there a prosecutor available?
I was conferring with Mr. Morris.
All right, just give me one moment. Gallery view is not acting right. Brennan always does this. I don't know if it's like extra slow today or what. I held my breath, Brenna, when we did it. All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 1435 and 2020 CR 1436, State of Texas versus David Westbrook. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
I'm Al Docket for David Westbrook.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:03 a.m. Counsel, I usually give everyone till 10:30 to appear. Do you wish to continue or do you want to come back at 10:30?
We can proceed now, Judge.
All right, as stated, this hearing was scheduled for 9 a.m. It is now 10:04 a.m. To the clerks and to the deputies in the courtroom, has there been a David Andrus Westbrook in the courtroom at all today?
No, Judge.
And for the record, he has not been on the Zoom screen. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Not since he was in custody, Judge. It's been over a year.
And have you made any attempts to contact your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I contacted his federally appointed attorney and I've been unable to find him that way. I called the bond company. The phone numbers didn't work. And I also tried the number that was given to me when I was appointed. So none of those three have worked, Judge.
All right, state.
State asked the court to forfeit his bonds and issue a warrant.
All right, that'll be granted in each case. If your client, and your client will be remanded without bond, if your client does get in contact with you and he presents himself to the court will reconsider.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. And you are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too. Ted Wood, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have Mr. Stribling. Could I be in a room with Joe Ray, please, just for a minute?
I don't know if Joe Ray is here, but I will send a family violence prosecutor your way.
That'll be great, Judge. Thanks.
I'll send you to breakout room. Let me move some people up here. Just give me a moment. I'll see you to breakout room number 7.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Jorge. Who do you
Yes,
have?
Judge. Good morning. I have David Rosas.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
He's CTD.
Okay. Just one moment. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
All right, Judge, thank you.
You're welcome. And does anyone know what is happening with Vivian Casares? She's in breakout room number 16 on Zachary Huff.
Judge, I sent you a chat.
All right, thank you. Yes, I will be there right now. Thank you.
Yeah, they just haven't opened up the break room yet.
Okay, so it automatically kick on?
No, you're gonna see something. You're gonna see something. A new button down here that looks like that.
Okay,
And then when you click on it, it'll let you go.
okay, thank you.
All right, Zachary Huff, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 16. All right, and so for family violence, we have Johnny Cisneros on Blake Wilborn. He's in breakout room number 3. Fernando Cortez is in number 4 on Jonathan Trevino. And Robert Brownback, does he need his client Mark Anthony Paris in number 9?
He does, Your Honor.
Okay. And is his client in custody or on bond?
He's in custody.
All right, as soon as he's brought over, I'll place him in the breakout room. Norma, could you check and see what the ETA is on Mr. Paris? And then Jorge on David Rosas?
Judge, I've just been informed that, I need to confirm it, that he hired another attorney, Neil Kaufus, on the 30th of September.
All right, we will check into that.
Okay.
And is your client, I'm missing, I don't see him on the docket. Does anyone see David Rosas on the docket? Ah. All right, we will see. We'll have someone check. Ted
Yeah.
Wood?
Judge, I'm back from talking with Caitlin, Miss Wilkes.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time with the last name, but I think I finally got it. So they're going to pull the file. I emailed Joe Ray yesterday, but I found out that he's on overnight. I didn't know that. So the file wasn't pulled or anything like that. I'd like to be put in the room if I could with Mr. Stribling, just to let him know that we're going to move forward, but it may be a minute.
All right, what are we moving forward towards? That's the question.
We're going to do a plea today. Would you like me to recite the plea for you?
Oh, no, if you'll put it in the chat box to Miss Ferguson, that way she can get the appropriate paperwork together.
Okay. Should I do that before or after you put me in a room with Mr. Stribling, or does it matter? Just do it.
Oh, no, you'll need to do it before so she can start getting the paperwork ready for you.
Got it. I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay. And then
All right.
I'll send your client to, what I'll do then is I'll send your client to the breakout room with you.
Great.
Mr. Stribling, I'm gonna need you to go to breakout room number 7 with your attorney, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I sent you a chat.
Yes. All right, L23. Is your name Pettis or Paris?
It is Perez.
Okay, I don't know why people kept saying Paris. Maybe I misheard. All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 9 with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Eduardo Jimenez?
Yes, Judge. I have Fabian Vega. It's
Criminal trial division or family violence?
criminal. Well, there's a murder case, ag assault, and I think there's a misdemeanor ABI. So I would think it's criminal trial division, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
All right, Judge.
I'm sorry, number 6.
Number 6. Okay, thank you, Judge.
I sent the chat to Norma, Judge. The plea.
All right, thank you. And then you can go back to your previous breakout room and your client is waiting for you there.
It's number 7, Judge. Is that right?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Jorge, we're just checking to see who his attorney is. Just give us a moment.
Judge, I already checked on the computer. It's Neil Kalfas. September 30th, he was hired.
All right, then, Jorge, you are excused.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice
You're
day.
welcome. Thank you, you too.
Thanks.
Nathaniel Navy, what is happening with your client?
Judge, we reached a plea agreement with the state and we're working on the paperwork right now.
All right, thank you. Mr. Braubach, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. Judge, we have an agreement. I just need to visit with the prosecutor a minute so we can start on the paperwork.
All right.
Y'all hate it.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and also Robert Brabot for family violence, he's in breakout room number 5. And he says there's an agreement, but he needs to discuss something with the prosecutors. Johnny Cisneros, you're back.
Yes, I am, Your Honor. Your Honor, I need to have more time to speak to Michelle because she's just on the case new, and I need to give her some discovery, and I would like to reset this case, please, so Michelle and I can discuss it.
All right, Norma, Wilburn, if I could have a 30-day reset, please. All right, we're going to come back on November 9th. That's going to be your plea deadline date. The court will not further extend any plea deadline dates.
Thank you so much. May we be excused?
Yes, where's your client?
I'm right here. I'm right here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wilburn, we're going to come back on November 9th. That's going to be your plea deadline date. The court will not extend any plea deadline dates past that point. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you and your attorney are excused. Thank you, Johnny. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Your Honor, and everybody stay healthy.
All right, you too.
Thanks.
Eduardo Jimenez.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Vega, I had put in a motion to withdraw as counsel, and I'd like to urge that motion today, if that's possible, if you have time.
Oh, we always have time.
Okay.
All right, is this
It's Fabian Vega. Should be 2 cases. There's a murder case and an ag assault deadly weapon.
all right? Are you appointed or hired?
I was hired, Your Honor. And he's asking for an appointed.
All right, this is scheduled for jury trial on November 17th.
Yeah, I did tell him that, Your Honor. But I think it's mainly his family. There's been, on my side, there's been payment issues, and on his side, he feels that he would get more attention from another attorney, or the attention that he feels that he needs from another attorney.
All right, I'm not going to grant the motion. Mr. Vega, can you unmute, please?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Vega.
Yes, ma'am.
Court is not granting the motion to withdraw at this time because you're scheduled for jury trial
Yeah,
on November 17th.
I told my family like a few weeks back to tell the Watervis, and I guess he barely like got the message sometime this week or last week.
No, I mean, you're scheduled for trial on November 17th. So I don't know how you expect the court to have an attorney appointed for you and have that attorney to be ready for a jury trial on a murder case for November 17th. This case has been going on since 2021. November 17th, your jury trial date, that will make this case on the docket for over a year. So I'm not inclined to allow Mr. Jimenez to withdraw. So that's going to be your attorney.
Okay. Can I let him know when I can see him, Judge?
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Vega, I am going to be out of town for a little bit, but I will see you. I will see you on the 17th. Okay, and we'll pick up from there. Get ready for trial. Okay.
Okay, well, like, can you please come and see me like before that, so like me and you could talk more
Before that,
about my case.
I can try, but
this is what I do. I'm going to send you all into a breakout room. You can discuss that. Mr. Jimenez, after you finish discussing things with your client, if you can come to the, well, is there a prosecutor available? We're going to put your motion on the record.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I'm agreeing in agreement with putting it on the record.
I'm available, Judge Hunter Morris.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 6409 and 2020 CR 6408, State of Texas versus Fabian Vega. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Eduardo Jimenez.
And are you Fabian Vega?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, you filed a motion to withdraw in each of these cause numbers so that the record can be clear. The court will note that in cause number 2020 CR 6408, this defendant's case in this court as an indicted case has been pending since August 13, 2020. And on July 2021, a jury trial was scheduled for November 17, 2021. And in cause number 2020 CR 6409, where the defendant is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, the first setting for that case in this court, I have a date of November 5th, 2020. And again, jury trial was scheduled for November 17th, 2021. The court will note for the record that in each of those cause numbers, the defendant rejected the offer on July 2021 and was given the date of November 17, 2021. Defense, you filed a motion to withdraw in each of these cases. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
State, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. The court will note for the record that according to the defendant's motion to withdraw, it just states that the defendant is requesting that you withdraw from the case.
That's
you
correct.
May proceed, Mr. Jimenez.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I said you may proceed.
Oh, yes. So the family of the defendant and the defendant are requesting that I have requested that I withdraw. I believe their reasons are that they feel they would get either more attention or they'd be attended to better by a court-appointed attorney. On my side, payment hasn't been forthcoming, so that's been an issue. However, I'd be happy to continue on the case if that's the court's ruling, and we will be prepared for trial on November 17th.
In each of the cause numbers, your motion to withdraw is denied.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we'll close the record. Mr. Vega, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 so that you can speak with your attorney. And Mr. Jimenez, if you'll let me know when you have completed speaking with him so that we can have him removed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
all right,
ma'am.
thank you.
Okay.
And everyone, just give me a moment while I sign some documents.
Your Honor, which breakout room was that again?
I sent you to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
Is it popping up for you or no?
Yes, I see it now, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Angela Blake.
Morning, Judge. I'm just waiting on paperwork from Michelle.
Okay.
And then we'll be ready to plea once it's been signed off on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Fernando Cortez.
Yes, Your Honor, we conferred. I made sure that my client appeared in person in court, so he should be in the courtroom. We would still be asking for a trial date, Your Honor.
All right, to the courtroom. Is Jonathan Trevino in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then what I'll do, Mr. Cortez, I'll send you and the prosecutor. Who's the prosecutor you were conferring with?
That's me, Your Honor. Michelle Hayden.
All right, I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 2. And the court coordinator will meet you there. And once she gives you a date, please come back to the main room and we'll put that date on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, you're done, Mr. Jimenez?
No, Your Honor, there was nobody in breakout room 1.
All right, Mr. Vega, you need to go to breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am. Ain't no thing that told me to go to it. Like there's no.
Okay,
like,
just
join.
give me a moment. I'm going to get someone to send you to breakout room number 1. Just
Yes,
a
ma'am.
moment. Mr. Jimenez, just give us a moment. Nathaniel Navy.
Judge, can you send my client Louis Herrera to breakout room number 8 so I can discuss the paperwork with him?
All right, is he in custody or on bond?
He's on bond, Judge.
How is he listed on the screen?
Just his name, Louis Herrera.
All right, I think he has previously been assigned to a breakout room. Let me see. Louis Herrera, if you'll go back, well, so I can pop up for you, I'm going to send you to number 10.
10. Thank you.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
welcome.
Is finding the right candidate.
All right, Fernando Cortez on Jonathan Trevino. Do you have a date?
Yes, Your Honor, we have January the 12th. And we're also waiting for new cases to get indicted, Your Honor. And if I may ask, Your Honor, because I don't want my client to commit the same error again, if you're okay, let me know what he did to get himself.
Sure, yes. All of the defendants are required to have their videos on and not turn their videos off. So
Yes, sir.
I always make that announcement at the very beginning, what they can and can't do. Otherwise, their Zoom privileges will be revoked.
Yes,
So,
Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, if that happens again, your Zoom privileges are going to be permanently revoked. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So we're going to put this on the record. Michelle, did you have a chance to make the phone call you needed to make?
Actually, so since we were out on vacation yesterday, my son wasn't exposed and he can stay at daycare all week. So that's good.
Okay. All right. Norma, can you get someone to help Mr. Vega go to the breakout room, please?
Yeah.
And he's to go to breakout room number 1. And he's in 14L. So, Mr. Cortez, on this case with Mr. Trevino, you say there is another case that's pending?
Maybe 3 of them, Judge, that need to get indicted.
All right, so are you going to be prepared to go forward with this case, even though those other 3 cases are out there?
Yes.
Judge, we agreed on the date, the later date actually, so that we can get the other cases indicted so that they all should be ready by that point in time.
All right, and Mr. Cortez, do you have the discovery on those other cases?
I'm not sure right now, Judge.
All right, because the question is going to be on this aggravated assault case that you're going to jury trial on, depending on what happens, is the state planning on introducing the content of these other cases in that trial? Because if that's the case and the defense counsel doesn't have discovery, so I can give you a jury trial date, the jury trial date you decided on, but then I can set this earlier for discovery issues, and that discovery issues will be on the 3 new cases.
That'll be
Does
fine,
everyone
Judge.
understand? Okay.
Yes.
So Norma, they have a date for January 12th for a jury trial, but I'm also going to need a discovery date as well.
Okay.
And if we could put it at sometime in November. Oh. All right, your discovery date is going to be November 12th, 2021. That's just for discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that will be for all the cases staying. All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2021 CR 6414, State of Texas versus Jonathan Trevino. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Fernando Cortez for Mr. Trevino.
And are you Jonathan Trevino?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. The court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, any objection to this taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
It's my understanding that the state has tendered an offer in this cause number. Is that correct, Mr. Cortez?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, are you rejecting the offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, have you received all the discovery in this specific case?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. Then in cause number 2021 CR 6414, a discovery acknowledgement will be due on November 12th, 2021. And discovery acknowledgements will be due on that date. And NITMAG number 599965, CM number 087625, night mag number 622942. And the court will note that it appears that night mag number 622942 is criminal trial division, and night mag number 599965 is criminal trial division. It's the court's understanding is that all parties have conferred on a jury trial date. Your jury trial date will be January 12th, 2021 at 9 a.m. Any objections for that as a jury trial date, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections to that as a jury trial date?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, any objections to that as a jury trial date?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so that all parties are aware, that is a date that the court has chosen. However, if jurors are suspended again, you may not have that as your jury trial date. If that is the case, then your counsel will be informed and he will inform you. Also, courts are being rotated on when they are allowed to have their jury trials. The court, the 187 District Court, has not been given dates for the new year yet. So your jury trial date may be January 12th, or it may be slightly after January 12th. Does everyone understand? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Mr. Trevino, you'll need to appear in person in court at 9 a.m. on January 12th, 2021. If for some reason that is not the court date, your attorney will be informed and you can appear by Zoom. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you will need to appear dressed for trial. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else from either side, we'll close the record.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Trevino, don't leave the courtroom. They're going to give you a reset date, okay? They'll give you a form to fill out.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Eduardo Jimenez.
Yes, Judge. I'm attempting to speak to Mr. Vega about visiting him before I leave.
Oh, no, there's a deputy, Mr. Vega, there's a deputy right behind you. Can you let that deputy know that you need to go to breakout room number 1?
No, that's not the issue. The issue is he won't stop talking about, for example, he's claiming that I don't have a right to take what this is as a vacation, that I don't have the right to take a vacation, that the court is against him and always denies all his emotions. And he's just blabbing on, and he won't listen to me. He won't let me get.
Mr. Vega, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Vega, let me explain something to you. All right, just one moment. This is your defense attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the attorney that you all hired. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
It is late in the date. I'm not allowing him to withdraw because your jury trial is coming up November 17th. Now, let me explain something to you. I listen to whatever is presented to me, and I base my rulings upon what I hear and based upon case law. I don't have an axe to grind with anyone that's on this Zoom screen. I don't dislike anyone on this Zoom screen. Now, by that same token, I don't dislike anybody on this Zoom screen, but I'm not inviting anybody on this Zoom screen to Thanksgiving dinner, right? And when I say not inviting anyone to Thanksgiving dinner, that means attorneys, defense attorneys, defendants, investigators, anybody who you see on this Zoom screen, they're not getting invited to my home for Thanksgiving dinner. Brenna, the court reporter, she's not getting invited to my home for Thanksgiving dinner. The clerks, the court coordinator, they're not getting, I think I have a great staff, but they're not getting an invitation to my home for Thanksgiving dinner. Do you understand? So, Mr. Vega, I have nothing against you, but here's the thing. We're all human beings here. If somebody wants to take a vacation, they're allowed to take a vacation. For the longest time, I never took a vacation. And you know what a friend told me? They're like, Stephanie, if anything were to happen to you, we'll be very sad. But the wheel will keep turning. They'll be like, oh, that's so sad. Too bad she never took a vacation. So Vacations are used to recharge. And sometimes when people take a vacation, they're not going anywhere. They just turning off their cell phones and enjoying, their time at home, maybe binge watching something on Netflix. I know it's best to have a well-rested attorney than not a well-rested attorney. I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. And let me just tell you what I've learned on my time on this planet. Everybody should take a vacation, even if it's just in your backyard, turning on the water hose. That's what we would do when I was growing up. So attorneys need vacations. Defendants need vacations. So I'm not giving you any advice, but what I can tell you, whether you talk to your attorney or not, whether you talk to your attorney about your case or not, this attorney is trying your case. Now, whether you think it's great for you to talk to him about your case, that's completely up to you. How old are you, Mr. Vega?
I'm 21, but like I
All right, you're
said,
21. So here's the thing. If you can talk to your client, you can talk to your attorney about your case or not, I can tell you what's going to end up happening on your jury trial date. Jury's going to be called in. We're going to select a jury. A jury's going to be sitting in the box. And if you choose to start talking to your attorney about your case while the jury's in the box and witnesses on the witness stand, that's completely your choice. You're 21. You're an adult.
yes, man. But like I've been trying to, but he never comes to see
Well, so
me.
here's the thing.
I got trial next month.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you something. Are you in the 187 today on Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your attorney in the 187 today on Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then. You can go to breakout room number 2 and talk to him.
It's like in court. It's like the only time I do like talk to him.
Here's
Like
the thing.
I got trial next month, and like
Here's the thing. Talk to him. Because right now, what you're trying to tell me is you don't want your trial date on that date. And I'm telling you, your trial date is going to be on that date. So here's your attorney. He's on Zoom. Guess what? I'm on Zoom and I'm here from 9 to 5. If y'all want to talk in the breakout room from 10:49 a.m. to 5 p.m., you're more than welcome to do so. So I'm assigning you to breakout room number 2. Don't have your attorney come back in here again to tell me that you're not talking to him or don't want to talk to him about the case, because what's going to happen is you're going to get sent back to your cell. And again, a jury will be selected. And if you want to talk to your attorney about your case while the jury's in the box and witnesses are on the witness stand, that's completely up to you. You're an adult, you're 21.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Vega needs to go to breakout room number 2? And everyone, just give me a moment. I need to sign some paperwork. All right, Louis Herrera, I've just signed and received your paperwork. I'm going to send him to breakout room number 1. And
Okay,
Mr. Navy, I'll send you to 1. And the clerks will meet you in breakout room number 1 to swear your client in.
Okay. Is he in the main room now? I told him to stay in breakout room 10. I was getting one item resolved.
I just transferred him to number 1.
Okay, I'll join 1. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. And everyone else, put some patience in your pocket. Use it as needed. Your attorneys will be here shortly. Sure. All right, Eduardo.
Yes, Judge. I agreed to meet with him within the next 3 days, and we're going to go over his discovery and, of course, his usual criticisms. But beyond the criticisms, I just want to. I'll see him in the next 3 days, and then I will see him upon my return, almost immediately. So we will be prepared for trial if you would just allow me to help him.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Norma, can you let them know 14L Vega can go back, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. You're
Yes,
excused.
yes, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are the parties here on Mr. Herrera?
Present, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who is the defense? I'm sorry, who is the state's attorney?
I am Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 5890, State of Texas versus Louis Herrera. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
for the defense?
Nathaniel Navy, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Herrera?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor. We waive the reading.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
State's waiving count 1 and proceeding on count 2.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Herrera, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit and Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand
Your
it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with is evading detention while in the vehicle in count 2?
Yes.
That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Herrera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily Waived his right to jury trial. I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 2. There's a $1,500 fine probated, and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that are filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor, there have not been.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is recommending your deferred adjudication be for a term of 6 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours community service restitution, ignition interlock for half the term, DWI intervention, VIP, driver safety course, and AA meetings. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to count 2 and the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Herrera, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand that you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
I'm fine with proceeding with sentencing and waiving a PSI, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd ask that you follow the plea bargain recommendation. My client was going through a pretty serious mental health episode at the time of this occurrence. His ex-wife had taken his kids down to Rio Grande City. And so they were with her and another individual that other individual is now, I believe, in jail. There were allegations of abuse. And so my client was trying to regain custody of his children around that time, was basically kind of in a suicidal state. And so obviously this was an unhealthy way of expressing that frustration, but kind of lets you understand the frame of mind that he was in at the time. He hasn't touched alcohol, he tells me, since that day, and is in a much more healthy frame of mind at the moment, Judge. I believe that he'll get through this deferred adjudication if you give him that opportunity. He seems very confident that he'll be able to get through it with no issues. And so I just ask that you follow the plea bargain recommendation.
All right, Mr. Herrera, where are you employed?
I'm employed with Local 142. I'm a plumber. I've been there for about 15 years now.
All right, when's the last time you had alcohol?
That day of the incident.
All right, where are your children?
My children are with me right now. My son's with me, and I had another daughter with my new fiance, and my daughter's my daughter's with my ex, because what happened was that I'm trying to get custody of her too, because her boyfriend assaulted my son. So I'm in the process of trying to get custody of all my kids with her.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. $1,500 fine prorated, 6 years deferred adjudication, 120 hours community service restitution. The court will deduct 40 hours if you provide proof that you've had the COVID vaccine. So the record can be clear. I'm not forcing anyone to do that. But if you do obtain that, 40 hours will be deducted. I will allow you to buy out the remaining of your community service hours. Ignition interlock, half the term. DWI intervention course, VIP, driver safety course, and AA meetings 1 time per week. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular Zoom reporting. If something happens and you can't report by Zoom, you'll need to report in person. Field visits 1 time per month, random. Random UAs or patch. The patch is more expensive, but the patch gives you greater flexibility on your schedule. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs that I haven't provided?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Herrera, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Herrera, we'll go off the record. Good luck to you, Mr. Herrera. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Probation will meet you there and go over conditions, and then you can be excused from that breakout room.
Thank you,
And
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Navy, you're welcome. Mr. Navy, you can go to that breakout room, or either you can be excused.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Garza, you have Mr. Boone.
Yes, Your
Judge,
Honor.
are you ready? I'm sorry, Judge, are you ready for me to go into the breakout room?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I believe it's CTD.
CTD, yes, Your Honor. If I can have a breakout room with somebody from the state.
Yes.
Good morning, too.
Good morning. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
All righty, thank you.
You're welcome. Vivian Casares, you're back.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just working on the paperwork with Marcus and my client, Judge.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Greg, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually had to leave before I was able to confer. I apologize.
Okay. Who's your client?
Rudy Lerma, family violence. I'll change my name again.
Okay. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. All right, everyone, let me know when you are ready. All right, Mr. Garza. Oh, no, Mr. Boone, you do not. They will request you if they need you in the breakout room.
Okay, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And what is happening on Greg Demari's client, Rudy Lerma?
Judge, I was wanting to confer with him, but I don't see him on the Zoom anymore.
All right, on that case, Mr. Lerma, we're going to come back at 2 o'clock. So you need to talk to your attorney and let him know that your case is being recalled for 2 o'clock. So, Mr. Lerma, we'll see you back at 2 p.m. Mr. Garza, you ready to speak with your client, Mr. Boone?
Yes, could I please, Judge, and we might be asking for just a real quick 2-week reset. My client has another felony pending in another county, and I believe that Hunter has got to check that out, and they may have to amend one of the indictments on the unauthorized use. They have the wrong alleged victim in the indictment.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Boone, can I have a 2-week reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. They can come back on the 19th.
All right, we'll see you back on October 19th. I'll send you to a breakout room to speak with your client. But after you finish speaking with your client, I need him to come back to the main room.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Boone, we're going to have you come back on October 19th.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, and I'll send you to breakout room number 1. And Mr. Garza, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, please.
Thank you, Judge. Then may I leave from there, Judge?
Yes, but make sure your client comes back to the main room.
Yes, I will.
All right, I have paperwork on Huff coming in. So Mr. Huff, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2 with your attorney. And clerk will meet you in breakout room number 2 to swear you in. And these can go back. Thanks.
Michelle, I sent you an email. Okay, thank you.
Norma, Mr. Browback is not here.
Okay, Judge, I'll try to get a hold of him.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, are the parties ready on Huff? Are the parties ready on Zachary Huff? I think I'm talking to myself, Brenna.
State's here, Judge. I'm not sure where Vivian went.
All right. Brenna, you know, sometimes you feel as though you're having a conversation with yourself.
You're not alone, Judge.
All right. Court is calling 2020 CR 1326, State of Texas versus Zachary Huff. Can I have the parties announced for the record?
Marcus Sanders for the state.
Vivian
defense.
Caceres for Mr. Huff, Your Honor.
And are you Zachary Huff?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Huff, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, counsel, I'm going to show you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement, how you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Huff, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Huff, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with credit debit card abuse? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Huff, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the state jail facility. There are no applications. This will run concurrent with 2019 CR 4627. There's restitution of $1,200 to Taron, T-A-R-U-N Adams. Did you understand that to be a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver Repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, Have there been any such motions?
There have not, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that you be given time served in custody from February 4th, 2019 to October 5th, 2021. For the record, the court did go into a breakout room with both defense counsel and attorney for the state. And the court was informed that, I'm assuming this is one of the cases that should have been taken care of, but was not taken care of. And so the defendant has been in custody while this case was pending on another charge. Is that correct, state defense?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Right, then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, the state offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Huff, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just respectfully request that the court impose the recommendation from the state judge and that Mr. Huff be given credit dating back to February 4th of 2019, Judge.
All right, the court will, as previously stated, find you guilty, sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility. There's to be restitution of $1,200 to Tehran Adams. Give credit for any time served. Give credit for time served from February 4th, 2019 through October 5th, 2021. Court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Huff, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right. And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Huff, how old are you?
29 years old.
All right, so you're 29. At some point in time, you're either going to find yourself in and out of jail. I don't know if you're stealing because you have a drug problem or if you just steal. So you're going to get to the point in your life where you're going to have more of your life behind you than in front of you. And if you don't want to wake up having spent a majority of your life in prison or in jails, in and out of different counties, then you need to change your ways. Because you agreed to a term of sentence and not to probation, there's nobody to give you a class, a theft class. So here's my theft class to you. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. Don't go into a vehicle that is not your own and that you have not been invited in. Don't go inside any buildings or homes unless you're invited. And wherever you're invited, if someone asks you to leave, you need to leave.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, you can let them know Huff L5 can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Vivian, you are excused. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, thank you, Judge. You too.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And Judge, can you put Angela Blake in a breakout room with her client, please?
She is in the breakout room number 3 with her client. And number 14C can go back, boom. Thank you. And then the last one we have is Stribling with Ted Wood. And we have David Rosas. Norma, can you see if where Mr. Kalfas is on David Rosas, please?
Yes, ma'am, I'm on hold.
Thank you. Ms. Hendricks?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you unmute for me, please? We're going to bring you back on October 14th. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I'm not going to ask you what your results will be if you were drug tested today. But what I'm going to tell you is this. You never know what people are putting into drugs because they're not FDA approved. So anytime you use, that could be your last time using because it could have been up ODing. So throughout Bexar County, they have free drug courses for people. You can do AA or NA meetings. So I want to make sure that you stay alive because everybody brings something to the planet and everybody can do better in their life. I can do better in my life. Everybody on this Zoom screen can do better.
Yes, ma'am.
But you can't do better if you're not clean and sober. Okay?
Yes,
all right. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring your case back on October 14th. And so if you're not going to do it yourself, then do me a favor. Go to somebody's AA meeting or NA meeting. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay. We'll see you back by Zoom on the 14th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Judge, I just sent you a chat.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Mr. Rosas, somebody from your attorney's office will be logging in shortly.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Broadback, have you finished your paperwork with your client?
Judge, I'm working on that now. I wasn't sure which agreement he was gonna take, and then I had to get a waiver number, so
No
maybe
problem.
a few minutes.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Broadback, is your client, Mr. Pettis? I'm going to send you, he's in breakout room number. I'm going to move him to 2. And I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Number 2. Thank you, Judge.
And everyone, we are taking our break at 12:30. So whoever is not done by 12:30, you're going to have to come back at 2.
or if y'all are in the middle of something.
No, go ahead. Yes.
So I just need the consent to plea by video conference on the waiver case. Everything else is in.
All right. Let me see. And I see your client is having his meal.
Is he?
Yes. Your client, I believe, has medical issues, so he has to eat at a specific time. Because otherwise, I wouldn't allow people to eat on screen. All right. So, Ms. Ferguson, if you could get that waiver for Angela.
On which one, Judge? I'm sorry.
Which case is it?
It's 2021 CR 9016W on Martin Gonzalez. It's just the video conference plea, consent stuff.
I sent it to you.
And I got the first one, but there was a second one.
Yeah, I know I sent it to you. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'll go back to the breakout room, or do me wait.
Oh, no, you can go to the breakout room.
Okay.
Process. All right, Mr. Chavez, I'm going to send you to a breakout room to confer.
Thanks, Your Honor.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Judge, can you send me into the breakout room with who was it?
Oh,
Angela.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were not co-host. It's Angela. She's in number 3. I'll send you to number 3.
Thank you.
And who is this M. Gonzalez 14E?
Is that Martin Gonzalez?
No, Martin Gonzalez shows in a breakout room. Sir, can you unmute yourself? Just hold down your keyboard, please. I don't know who his attorney is, but I know one of the Gonzalez's does have a medical issue, so they have to eat at a specific time.
Oh, Judge, there's a Manuel Gonzalez on the recall docket. It was James Seeloff's client.
Okay. All right. All right, so that's taken care of. And Mr. Rosas, your attorney is in a breakout room and they will come back to speak with you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Sarah Herring, can you unmute, please? Yes, who are you here for?
I am here for Matthew Stribling.
For what purpose? Are you here to give testimony?
No, I'm supposed to be on the other side, the other end, where it's just watching and seeing what's going to happen.
Okay, then you can watch that on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel, you can see that.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who is I key 1?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Lucy Key. I'm also here for Matthew Stribling as an observer.
All right, you can watch it on the YouTube channel. Do you know how to go to the YouTube channel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you can watch on YouTube.
All righty.
Sure, no problem. I'll take care of the court number for that, Michelle.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem. And usually the clerks will catch that as well and change the court number. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, have you already been sworn in?
No,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
so Mr. Gonzalez, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 7 with your attorney, and they'll let you know if they have all the paperwork, and then they'll swear you in. All right, Mr. Demarais, we're gonna come back on your case at 2:30.
Sounds good, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Mr. Gonzalez, we're done with your case. You're gonna come back on November 3rd, okay?
I will. We'll go home.
Is your attorney is James Seeloff, correct?
Yeah. We'll go home.
Who is your attorney? Norma, could you let them know that Manuel Gonzalez, his attorney is James Seeloff, that he's excused?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's 14E. Thank you. All right, are we ready on Martin Gonzalez?
Yes, Judge.
Right. Brenda, I've been talking to myself a lot today. Okay. That doesn't sound good. I think it may be from Mr. Gonzalez's end, but we will see how far we get through. Brenda, it's two cases. Court is calling 2021 CR 8360 and 2021 CR 9016W, State of Texas versus Martin Gonzalez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
Ah, okay. I did not know it was Michelle. Just 1 second.
Well, Meredith did the paperwork on the other one. We can both do it. That's fine. Or
It was
I can
a
sit
group
back.
effort.
Yeah.
Okay. Teamwork. Don't they say teamwork makes the dream work, Brenna? Okay, I think Brenna's frozen as well.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Angela Blake, attorney for Mr. Gonzalez.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there is something wrong. Let me see where this is coming from. I think it may be coming from your end. Mr. Gonzalez, you're going to have to mute and unmute yourself for me when I ask questions of you. All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to show you in each one of these cause numbers what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in each of these cause numbers and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gonzalez, we're going to start with 2021 CR 8360, showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We're proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitating.
Any objections?
No objection.
All right, and then in cause number 2021 CR 9016W, showing you what's entitled waiver of indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.05 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict this case and hold you over for trial? Did you understand?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand your attorney also has certain rights, namely 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering a plea bargain agreement in this case, you were giving up all of those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.05 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. In that cause number, I'm going to show you what's entitled information. Did you review that document? with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information? Thank you. As presented.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
In cause number 2021 CR 8360, you're charged with the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married, or cohabitation. It's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. In 2021 CR 9016W, you're charged with evading arrest, detention with a vehicle. That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years and a possible fine up to 10 years. And a possible fine up to $10,000. Did you understand the ranges of punishment in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering a plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into plea bargain agreements in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe he is currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain agreement. In cause number 2021 CR 9016W, according to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends community supervision. In cause number 2021 CR 8360, according to your plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married, cohabitating. Punishment is to be assessed at 40 days in the Bexar County Jail. Credit for time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Amber Rodriguez. Did you understand with the affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with the affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions in either of these cause numbers?
No, Your Honor.
In cause number 2021 CR 9016W, outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours community service restitution, no harmful or injurious contact with Amber Rodriguez, anger management, parenting classes, and cognitive behavior. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses, the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, cohabitation, and cause number 2021 CR 8360. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
And in cause number 2021 CR 9016W, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, in any of these cause numbers, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. In both of these cases, state would offer State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments into evidence.
Any objections?
No objection.
In each of the cause numbers, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand those documents? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same in each of the cause numbers. All right, I review in State's Exhibits 2021 CR 8360. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd like to go forward with sentencing at this time.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We would just request that the court follow the plea bargain as reached with the state.
All right, then, as previously stated, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 40 days in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Amber Rodriguez. And that cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And also because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then we will next proceed with 2021 CR 9016W. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We would request to go forward with sentencing, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just also request that the court follow the agreement reached with the state.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, can you unmute yourself? How many children do you have?
I have 2 sons and 1 on the way.
All right. And who's the mother of these children?
My 2 sons, Jasmine Gonzalez, and my daughter that's coming, Amber Rodriguez.
All right. Why are you hitting on your, well, first of all, let's start with this. Are you in love with Amber Rodriguez?
Yes, I am.
And why are you hitting on her?
I wouldn't say hitting. I would say moving out of my way because I was trying to leave.
No, let me just tell you. In cause number 2021 CR 360. This is what she says. They ask her where did it happen. She gives the street address. What was the time and date? She gives the date, around 1 a.m., which I don't know why people are not asleep at 1 a.m. And if someone is pregnant, I know they want their rest at 1 a.m. What would the suspect say happened? He hit me. Where would you live where would you believe the suspect could be found if not on the scene? Out in the streets. Specifically describe what happened. Be as detailed as possible. He abused me in my home, tried killing me, last night telling me I'm not going anywhere, I'm stuck with him forever. So again, we're back to the point. Why are you hitting someone that you claim that you love? What is your issue?
I don't recall hitting nobody. I didn't hit nobody.
On beginning date and time, victim stated she was using the bathroom and walked to her bedroom at the home residence. Suspect was in the bedroom with the victim one and began to complain and argue with the victim one. Victim one and suspect one engaged in a verbal argument until suspect became enraged and punched victim in the left shoulder with a closed fist. Victim stated she staggered back and felt pain in her arm. Suspect continued yelling at victim and then began to choke victim with his hands. Victim stated she was unable to breathe or speak until suspect released his grip on her neck. Suspect then began threatening victim one, stating, "You are mine and you are stuck with me. I'm going to kill you and the baby in your stomach." Suspect then struck victim on the left temple of her head and then the right side of her head next to her ear. So again, we're back to the question as to why you are hitting, or as you will say, moving out the way, someone that you claim you love.
I would understand that at the time I called another female to come get me, and she wouldn't let me leave out the house. So I moved her out the way to get my stuff and leave out the house. In 2018, I had a wife that had a son of mine, King J, that was killed when I was in prison. And for a person to make up a story about me hitting her and trying to kill my kid, it's offensive to me, Your Honor. So I wouldn't understand why a police officer would add those things to the report.
All right, where are you going to be working?
I have a cousin that owns his own company. It's a custom home framing.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 5 years, $1,500 fine, probated, 150 hours of community service restitution, 40 hours of those will be waived if you provide proof that you've obtained the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you or forcing you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 hours will be deducted. Anger management course, parenting classes, cognitive behavior course. There's to be no contact with Amber Rodriguez. If you want to see the baby, then you're going to have to figure out some way to do that in a civil setting. This is not the appropriate setting for that. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Are we going to have any problems with drug use, Mr. Gonzalez?
No, ma'am.
All right. Are you a gang member? Been involved in any type of gangs?
In my youth.
All right. We're going to do gang evaluation, and that's for supervision. There's a different type of supervision. I'm going to do field visits, random, 3 times per month, regular UAs, or the patch. Rebecca, is there anything else that Mr. Gonzalez needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
I need the court to know that I have PTSD, and if I get my medication, if they could
All right, so-
understand it.
All right, what we'll do then is also, Rebecca, if you can include a MIC evaluation. Mr. Gonzalez, I'm setting up evaluation appointments for you. Here's the thing. You need to make those evaluations, because if you don't make those evaluations, what's going to end up happening is a warrant is going to be issued, and those evaluations may end up taking place while you're in custody. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm very sorry about the pain that you've been through. If you need help, you need to be sure and let probation know, okay?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room number 1. And Rebecca, you can go to number 1 with them.
As well, Judge.
And probation will go over conditions with you. And Ms. Blake, you can go to number 1, or either you can be excused.
I'd like to go to number 1 as well, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, who is the prosecutor on Stribling?
Me, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Oh, I think Angela was the one with the issues with her computer. And Rebecca, I'm trying to see where you are.
I can go in there, Judge.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2021 CR 2273, State of Texas versus Matthew Stribling. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Ted Wood, Your Honor, for Mr. Stribling.
All right, and are you Matthew Stribling?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Off the record for a moment. Norma, everyone else who has not been heard, they're gonna have to come back this afternoon. So if you could let them know, they'll have to be back at 2:30. Back on the record, Mr. Stribling, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Stribling, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We're proceeding on count 3, the assault family second count, and waiving the other counts.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Stribling, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand in count 2 what your, in count 3, what you're charged with assault family second offense? That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stribling, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 3 of the indictment, which is an assault second. There's to be a cap of 7 years in the prison. There is a $1,500 fine. There is an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Amanda Sepulveda. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. And on this case, some cases were being dismissed as well. I'm doing those dismissals.
All right. Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge. We filed motions, but all the motions have been heard or disposed of.
Right. Then how do you plead to count 3 in the indictment? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
It offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments into evidence.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Stribling, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand today that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. And we will come back on another date for sentencing. Ms. Ferguson, what date will that be?
Give me 1 second, Judge. We will do, hopefully it'll be done by November 3rd, Judge.
All right, so we're going to come back on November 3rd. Mr. Stribling, what will end up happening is probation will interview you. And based upon the results of that interview and whatever evidence is presented to the court will make a decision on your application. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you, yes.
Judge, I'm asking, Mr. Stribling has been incarcerated since July, and I'm asking that the court release him and let him make his appointments with the Community Supervision Department for PSI and possible TAP evaluation on the outside.
If you file a motion, the court will consider it.
Very well, Judge.
Sure. Just get in contact with Ms. Ferguson. Mr. Stribling, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And Mr. Wood, I'll send you to 1. Please be patient when you get there. Probation is going over the conditions with someone else. And everyone, we are going to take our recess and we'll be back at 2:30.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too, Mr. Stribling. You need to